Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Tweeter's Tech. Today I'd like to take a look at the music streaming service known as Deezer. Now Deezer, for people that aren't aware of it, is just a music streaming service that allows you to stream as much music as possible and also gives you the option to physically download that music and listen to it without an internet connection. So, Deezer is probably the alternative to the very popular Spotify app. Most people do prefer Spotify, but I think it's just a preference. Me personally, I don't really see a huge difference between both apps. They both have similar services, similar features, and they've just got their own little kind of minor differences, and they both cost around the same price. Now, currently, if you wanted to use the full features of Deezer Premium Plus, I think it's £10 per month. Reason why I've stuck with Deezer is I was originally introduced to it through a freebie I had when EE was known as Orange, the mobile phone provider in the UK. They were offering a feature called Swappables, which was basically allowing you to have unlimited data on a particular app. It may be Sky Sports, it may be something else, but in this instance I chose Deezer. So I was introduced to Deezer and it gave me unlimited usage to basically download as much music or stream as much music as I wanted to, and there was no subscription fee. It allowed me to basically listen to it on my desktop, my laptop, my tablet, and maybe a couple of other mobile devices. So I had it mainly on my mobile phone. I've seen Deezer sort of improve over the last few years because it had a lot of problems with it initially, and I've seen it improve ever since then. It still has some flaws, but it's an app that I have grown to use quite a long time, and I've grown quite dependent on it as my main source of music. I've got to a stage now where my contract has run out and I have to decide whether I'm willing to spend £10 a month to use it. So when you load up the app itself, it's quite straightforward. You can load up your profile, which I've logged in with my Facebook login details. Now the benefit of actually doing that for your Facebook login details is that you're able to find out which one of your friends has actually got the app. So I click on new following, you can see a few of my Facebook friends that have actually got the app themselves. So if I go to my friend Stephen, I can actually look at his profile and see what he's been listening to. I can look at his playlists. I can look at, let's say, his albums, and he may have some albums that I don't have that I may want. So there may be something I want, and if I wanted to look at, let's say, for instance, let's have a look, Bell with the Voe. Now I have got this one already, but as you can see, I've already downloaded it. If I didn't have it, I could physically, just press on the download button, and that would go to my playlist. If I didn't want to download it, I could just listen to it, and that's fine because I've got unlimited data. That's not an issue. But for people that may want to restrict their data usage, maybe you want to do this at home on your Wi-Fi, and you can download it. And the good thing about these files, they take up barely a fraction of what you'd expect an MP3 file version of that album to take up. On my album list, if we have a quick look, go back to my albums. Now, without really knowing for sure, I've probably got about 150 albums here. Typically that, I'm taking a guess here, but that could take up maybe 200 to 250 gig of external storage or internal storage. The good thing with this service is basically it's like a temporary internet download. So you are downloading this music, but it's not there to share like an MP3, which is one of the downfalls. But if other people do have this service, you can share music that way. So if we go back to my playlist, these are playlists that I've basically created myself. I've gone through and found individual songs and made playlists that are tailored for myself. You can see I've done my own Eminem one, I've done a 90s hip hop, I've done a best of the best, which is basically what I believe the best songs of the last 5 years. You may disagree, you may agree. I've got some R&B, I've got a workout playlist, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but when you actually upload these playlists, people can download them themselves through suggestions that come through on our homepage. Now, my workout playlist seems to be the most popular. I've had about 20 people download it in the last year and put it to their actual profile, which I'm quite happy about. But the good thing is, here's an opportunity for you to create your own playlist and be a bit creative, and that's what I like about it. So let's say we wanted to look for an initial song. You can see I've done a few searches here so far, and I don't know, I was looking for maybe a Jill Scott song, sorry, and this particular one, Vive, I wanted it. You can see I've downloaded it. So you're listening to it, you think, okay, that's the one I want. When you realise it's the song you want, you just hold on to it, and it gives you the option to either add it to a playlist. If we did that, we can click on existing playlist, or we can create a new one. Now, the one thing I don't like is once you've actually created a playlist, you're not able to go back and edit it. When I mean edit, you can add more songs to it, but you can't actually rename the playlist, which is something I wish they would bring back. But anyway, I'm digressing a bit. We'll go back and click on it again. You can add it as a favourite track, so you can highlight with your friends on Facebook what you're listening to. You can go onto the artist page, and you can just share it. So if you want to share it on a social networking site like Twitter or Facebook, that's also an option. But when you do share it, only people that have got access to Deezer will be able to listen to that playlist or that song. Same thing with albums. Let's say, for instance, Straight Outta Compton's coming out recently, so I'm really excited about listening to some NWA. So we'll just type in NWA, we'll do a search. So as you can see, there's a few albums, so those are the tracks, and that lists the artist. You can click on the artist, and that will show the top tracks that they are known for. At the bottom, they'll show the albums. They've got some greatest hits ones, but I want Straight Outta Compton, which is linked in with the film. You can see I've already downloaded it already. It would normally be download off, and I can have a quick listen to it to make sure it's the one I want to listen to. This is one of my favourite songs. And you click on there, have a little listen, and obviously some of the songs do have option for a bit of karaoke, which is quite a handy feature to have. I can click on the heart to show that I like it, and that will also show up on my Facebook, but you can have the option to turn that off. So I've gone through the playlist, I've gone through the album, and I've decided, you know what, this is what I want. So I can listen to it whenever I want to, I can physically download it. Sorry, I keep using the word physically. I'm not physically downloading it. I'm just literally installing it to my Deezer account. So it allows me to listen to it without an internet connection. You can see these green icons here. This shows that I've downloaded it to my account. And if there is no internet, I'll still be able to listen to them, which is quite handy. So once I've downloaded all the albums I want, I'll go back to my profile. And you can see here, these are all the albums that I've downloaded, and it's a variation of R&B, hip-hop, some rock, some pop. And it's, you know, it's basically all the albums I've ever wanted, all the albums I ever owned when I had on CD. And in this particular instance, you know, I don't know exactly how many albums there are, but that takes up probably about 7 gig on my internal storage. But it also gives you the option, when you click on settings, to allow you to move it to your memory card. And you can see here how much available memory I have, and that's how much data has been taken up. You have the option to change storage, and you can move it to SD card, which is very handy because apps like this don't normally have support for SD card. And the good thing about that is it allows me to free up some internal storage to play other apps or have space for other apps that I want to use. Now when we go back to the home screen, here this is basically giving you suggestions based on what you've downloaded, and these are picks. They give you playlists that other people have compiled, you know, and it's quite handy to listen to other people's playlists so you can get an idea of stuff that you may not know that are available. You can also look at top playlists. If you're getting a bit bored of your own music, you can look at other people's playlists here and nick songs from there if you want. Maybe you want to look at the Back to the 90s one, but you don't necessarily like Californication. You might just want 1979. And what you can do is you can click on that one and add it to your existing playlist if you didn't want the whole thing. As you can imagine, I've got a workout playlist and other people have got their own workout playlists. I can nick songs from other people's playlists and make mine even better. And that, you know, that just makes you want to be a bit more creative and, you know, basically nick it from others and make it your own, really. And that's what I like about this app. Now, StartFlow. StartFlow, basically, when you click on that, this basically gives you kind of like a random play of songs that you've been listening to or you're downloading, and it basically compiles its own idea of what music that you'd like. So if we click on that, it's kind of like a random, but it's not necessarily all the songs that you have. So we'll start off with a classic hip-hop one. That's kind of what I like. Justin Bieber. I have not got a single Justin Bieber song on my playlist, please believe me. So I'm not sure why that is on there. Teddy Riley I do like. I do like this song as well by Kansas. I do like my 80s pop, so that's pretty accurate. And most of the time it is quite accurate as to what you like, but it does repeat a lot of things that you listen to more than other songs. And that's one of the things I don't like, because what I would like is maybe for it to have just a random button. And what I mean is basically, just pause this. What I mean is basically just a random button of all the albums that you have, of all the playlists that you have, and just keep that on a random. And that's one feature I think this app is missing, and it's such a basic feature. I'm not exactly sure if Spotify has that. But apart from that, I'm quite happy with this app, and I've seen it improve over the years. And I like the fact that you can basically find pretty much most music that you need or want. You can create your own playlist and you can share with your friends, and that's a feature that I do, I do like, and it's a beneficial feature. But I think the thing is, I have to decide is whether I think it's worth £10 a month. And because this is something I'm using quite a lot, and it is a going standard rate for most apps, I'm quite willing to spend that money, and I will do so in the future. But thanks for taking your time out to watch this video. This is my review of Deezer on Android. Thank you.